Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. My name is David, this is David K Reacts, and today I am going to be reacting a song that is going to take me back, many years, to when I was a teenager and fell in love with Green Day. And that is going to be Tommy Johansson's cover of Basket Case. This was actually one of the first Green Day songs I heard. I guess Dookie came out in 1994, the album that this is on, and it caught my ear at the time, but I wasn't into that kind of music yet. That would have been 9, and I was listening to Queen, I was listening to Sammy Davis Jr., I was listening to, anyone who had really cool jazz piano was kind of up my street then. Fast forward, I don't know, 3 years, and I kind of hit my punk, light rock, all that kind of thing sort of started to creep in, and I remembered this album, and one of my friends had it, and we played it, and I was like, oh, this is really cool. This is, I obviously wasn't ready for it yet. I wasn't articulate enough, probably at 12, to have that particular thought, but, looking back at it, that's, I think, what happened, and I loved it, and I've been a fan of Green Day since. Not a huge follower, but I love their music, and if it comes on, I'll bop along to it, and I have a fair few of their songs downloaded, and I will thoroughly enjoy listening to them. So, this is very old school for me, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what Tommy does to it, because with his style of humor, I feel like this is going to be great. I do need to... Excuse me, sorry, I've got my traditional frog in my throat. I do need to offer thanks up, and I forgot to bring this up beforehand, so I can't remember who it all was. What's the song called? Basket Case. Where's Tommy? There's Tommy. Karina Rodebeck and Amy Goodson, in particular, recommended that I look at this. It was described to me in a comment as a super speed symphonic falsetto 1-octave challenge power metal cover with another hidden twist. You're talking my language. So I'm very curious to see exactly how this all comes together. This is, of course, a very popular song. It made it to Rolling Stone's 500, was it memorable songs of all time or something like that? It got up to number 150. Which is really impressive. I didn't actually look up its chart success. I'll maybe post it up here if, I'll check it out and see what it was. But one thing I do know about this one was that Billie Joe Armstrong came up with the concept for this, basically singing about his anxiety. He didn't know, he hadn't been diagnosed yet with a panic disorder that he was diagnosed with later on, some years later, and he didn't know how to express what he was feeling, and so he wrote a song about it. And that strikes a chord with me, because with musical theatre and with associated things, so things like Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist or Enchanted or things like that, the idea that you're given is that when emotion becomes too strong for spoken word to suffice, the characters sing. And that's basically what happened to Billie Joe Armstrong. He couldn't... Spoken word didn't do justice to what he was experiencing, so he wrote a song about it. It's a real thing. Music is extremely expressive, and I think we don't all burst into song 5 times a day, but it can express things that we can't find other means of expressing, and I think that's incredible right there. So I feel very strongly about that. I think that's a really, really cool fact about this song, and yeah, I love it. Tommy, of course, I've seen before on the channel. I'm looking forward to seeing him again, and Sabaton too. If you haven't seen my reactions to their stuff, I've got a couple of Sabaton songs and one by Tommy. Do check them out. There'll be more coming by both in due course. And I'm very excited to be bringing this to the channel because it just sounds so much fun. So before I get to that, welcome back to the channel. Welcome if this is your first time. The way this all works on this channel is I'm going to watch it straight through without stopping, emote, comment over the top, that sort of thing. But then I will go back, and the second time through I will pause, and I will interrupt, and I will offer what commentary and analysis I feel I can. So if you're just here for a reaction, the first quarter of this video will apply to you, but I will then use having watched it once, to inform my analysis in the second half of the video. Please do like this video if you enjoy it. Hit that subscribe button. Yet again, we're creeping even closer to that 2,000. Would love to hit it by August if we can, but we'll see. Hit the notification bell to decide how often you hear when I post things. Hint, it's usually 5 PM on Friday, sometimes more often than that. And if you would care to, please do head over to buymeacoffee.com/DavidKReacts, where you can donate to support the channel. And I would like to thank Alex Walker and someone, which again is what it shows when the person remains anonymous with their donation. But thank you to both of you for buying me several coffees recently. I am very appreciative of your support of the channel. It really means a lot. That's everything from me, I think. So without any further delay, this is Tommy Johansson covering Basket Case. Alright, Packlebell. Yes! Yes, Tommy! Ooh! I like the harmony. Yes, editing! Yes! That is amazing. These crash cuts to the extreme close-up are so good. Ooh! Oh, I like that harmony. Yes! Oh, that's awesome. Woo! Okay. Oh, that's cool. Yes. Oh, this is so good! Yes, Tommy! Woo! Very cool. Very, very cool. Oh, I love that. Wow! That was intense. I don't know what I was expecting, but that was seriously intense. Which, I mean, I should have expected that. Let's see, have a quick glance at who's involved in... Oh, what's this? Hidden in the song is also a tribute to the late Andre Matos. See if you can find it. I may be betraying myself here, but I can't say I know who Andre Matos is. Brazilian singer and musician in the heavy metal bands Viper Angra, Shaman, and Symphonia. Interesting. Oh, and ranked number 77 at the list of 100 greatest voices of Brazilian music by Rolling Stone Brazil. That's very cool. Yeah, I got to hold my hand up and say I'm not familiar with any of those bands. And if I have heard Andre perform, it will have been without being fully recognizing who he is. So if somebody could let me know what that hidden tribute is, I would love to know so that I can recognize it. So we also have, what do we got? Recorded, arranged, produced, mixed, mastered, and performed by Tommy. Also video edited by Tommy. Filmed by Mandy Spice. Charvel, White, SoCal, Gary Moore, Replica. Oh, that's the guitar. Okay, so here we go. Fredman Bass, VST. Brighton Drums by Fredman Digital, VST. Guitar sound is Fred Head by Fredman Digital. Which obviously won't be a VST. It'll be whatever he's got his pedal plugged into. Orchestration, 8DO Majestica 2.0 VST. So, VST instruments are something I've touched on before in a video by Jeff, reacting to Jeff Castellucci. I can't remember which. It might have been the Bare Necessities, because he uses a VST guitar in that. But if you want to hear about VST instruments, check out one of my videos. Oh, and Fredman Digital, Charvel Guitars, and 8DO Majestica have all sponsored this video. That's very cool. Serious kudos to Tommy for the amount of work. Like, you know, I know he does a lot of work on these videos, but this is exceptionally good. I'm really impressed with his work on this. And great job by Mandy Spice too on filming this. This is that's excellent. If you're going to do a symphonic metal cover of Green Day, that's how you do it. Very, very well played. I'm just going to go back. Let's go back to this thing and watch this through, because this is just brilliant. So, yeah, we'll be breaking it down this time. Oh, every time. There we go. I said, oh, Pachelbel, the moment this came up. By the chord progression alone, it doesn't have to be. It is a very common chord progression. If you haven't seen it, I recommend I think it's Paravanian's Pachelbel Rant. It's a marvelous video. I'll link it in the description below. Where, incidentally, you will also find a link to the original of Tommy's video. But it's a wonderful video that points out how many songs out there use the same chord progression as Pachelbel's canon. And it makes complete sense, because that chord progression leaves a lot of room for expression. You can do a lot with the chords above it, but also it's simple enough that it fits a kind of pop song chord structure. It's something very easy to write over the top of. The reason it's Pachelbel specifically to me is you've got that da-da-da-da-da line over the top of it, which is directly from Pachelbel's canon. I feel so sorry for cellists that have to play this, because if I'm not mistaken, they play the same thing 84 times. The bum 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 84 times in a row, and then the song ends. That's it. Yeah, Baroque music was never my favorite to play on the piano, or indeed on anything else. I do enjoy singing it. There's something about the structure of singing Baroque music, but the repetitive nature of it as a piano piece, I couldn't ever get into. Anyway, I'm tangenting way off piste. But yes, I love the use of Pachelbel in the beginning of this, bringing classical music in. It's a symphonic metal move. This is a great piece of music to bring into Basket Case, and I think Tommy uses it spectacularly well throughout this video. Also, I love this title. This is really cool. I love, like, the green color works really well. That, what's the word? Not corrugated metal. What's it called? Like kind of chain link metal, not quite, but it's that rough pattern is a really effective use. I like the decay, like the sort of slightly distressed, deteriorated look of the text, and then this kind of sweeping font for the title. Very cool, and then disappearing into the bright light in space is just metal. So sure, this is very effective. I like it. Oh, I also love how the color forms out of the Big Bang kind of thing. It comes in just as this When we first see it, it's nothing, then it forms the drawn outline of the text. It's very effective, kind of bringing the title forward slowly. It's not just like, boom, in your face, title card. It's a little bit more subtle than that. I just called something metal subtle. Now, what I haven't ever thought about is, does Basket Case, is it one of the songs... God, if that's in Rob's rant, I'm going to be embarrassed. Is it one of the songs that uses this chord progression? I've never thought about... It's the songs that I heard before I recognized that this chord progression was there a lot. I don't think so much about the fact that the chord progression might be in them, because it's a part of a whole. There was a really interesting breakdown on the voice play Discord recently by Mortius, who's another fellow reactor. Do check his channel out, it's fantastic. Where he talked about you can how you listen to music is different, and you digest music in different ways. And I very much hear music first. The way that I hear it as a whole. I don't necessarily focus on lyrics or a specific instrument or something. I hear harmony. I hear the impact of all of the instruments as a whole. And so I may have completely missed the fact that this song actually uses that chord structure. Unless it's in Rob Paravanian's rant, in which case the fact that I already knew it before I saw that video would also mean it didn't really clock for me as much. But that's probably why he's done it, because listening to the melody played on the guitar here over the top, it just sounds right. And there it is a little different. The ostinato, an ostinato is a repeated bass line, usually, that goes on underneath a piece of music. And that's exactly what Pachelbel's canon features. Bum, 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 84 times. It's an ostinato. But he does it differently here. It's bum, 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 bum. You could actually feature that as the bass notes and still play the chords that are expected and just have a different bass note. So bum, 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 bum. If that were the case, that would simply be the first inversion of the bum chord that we would expect there. Bum, bum. What first inversion means, if you play C, E, G, for example, you play those same three notes, you just pick your hand up and move it up one note. So you play E, G, C. And the E is now on the bottom, and it's therefore the first inversion of the chord. Starting on the G, G, C, E, would be the second inversion, and so on. So you could easily play those same chords. So that's what I mean by the versatility of this as a structure, is you can do slightly different things with it, and it still holds up, which makes it versatile for putting under different styles of music. It's great. I love that crash out of this kind of epic opening where you have all these instruments, you have the bells going, this build-up, and then boom, we go into him singing, the guitar playing, and nothing else. It's great, and there's just the cymbal that kind of leads us into it. It's so effective. Very abrupt, sharp shift into what the song actually is. It would be fun because if you were listening to this without seeing knowing what it was, you would hear Basket Case. It's difficult not to. But if you were listening to this and not really paying attention, you could just hear cool metal opening and then smash into Green Day. I really like the way he's done this. I love this cutting that we're getting here. Between, you've kind of got three different... so you have close-up Tommy. This would be a pretty standard close-up shot. You've got guitar, so you can see what he's... And this I remember marking when I did... oh, goodness. What did I cover of his before? I'm going to put it here because my brain is a sieve right now and it's just gone. But I marked in that video too, we get lots of focus on seeing what he's doing with the guitar, which makes complete sense. He is such an accomplished guitarist. You can't just focus on him, the singer. You have to focus on him, the guitarist, as well. And he does that really, really well with his videos. So both the filming Mandy does and the editing that he's done on the video subsequently. Like, we get to see a lot of his talent on display, and I really like that. We also get this shot. So that previous shot, you kind of see the strumming pattern that he's doing with his right hand. Here, the focus, especially because of how blurry the right hand is, the focus almost becomes more on the left hand and what it's doing on the frets, which gets more and more impressive as we go through the video. So I love that he focuses on this, because it really lets you see what a skilled guitarist can do. It's inspiring, it's awesome, it's something I love getting to see in videos, because, especially with metal solos and things like that, they're so, there's so much embellishment, they're so kind of ostentatious. It's really fun getting to see what they're doing at the time. Again, I like the focus. He's doing smart things here. We're getting the vocal line introduction, then we're seeing the guitar, which kind of triggers the ear to hear the guitar slightly more. Here, where we've cut back to this shot, we got the I want way up there. No, don't have it right now. Goodness, literally at this moment in time, my top note is this note he's singing here, and he goes way above it. But that harmony up there, we hear it a little bit more because we're focusing on the vocal right now. I talk about this a lot in the videos, and it's really smart editing, because you get to actually hear clearly what it is they're making you listen to. And it's being, your ear is being directed to listen to certain things at certain times. It's great. This editing is fantastic. Every time there's a drum hit, there's a cut to a different shot. Also, talk about the super close-up that we've got right here. There's like, I can't remember what the terminology is. There's like a micro or macro close-up you can get to, where it's like it would just be his eye in frame or something like that. But we're getting this kind of super close-up that's way closer in than the shots we were getting where it's kind of like the bust of shoulders and up. Now we're getting, like, not even the full face in shot. And the jerkiness of these cuts is fantastic. And again, the ear is kind of slightly being trained by the eyes to hear the drum hits even more so, because something is happening every time it happens. It's great. I'm certainly not going to disagree with the concept that he is melodramatic. But it's the right kind of melodramatic. Definitely not a fool, though. Yeah, that little sequence is great. And I also love the little changes he's putting into this. It's a bit more metal, it's a bit more show-offy, which are both things he does. Like, even just here. No doubt about it, is what you would expect. But he stays up there. No doubt about it. It keeps that long, higher note going, and it allows a little bit of focus on some guitar or something like that. Like, it gives its room to shift around. This is brilliant. I really, really like this arrangement. And even there, it climbs, because when he comes off the guitar comes in with oof, ow. Okay, I'm going to stop trying to do that. That's going to hurt soon. But the guitar comes in with a note, or is it brass? I'm not 100% sure. I need to listen to that again. Might be brass, actually. But it comes in with a slightly higher note again. So rather than having the ba about it and coming back down again, he's actually allowing the phrase to keep rising, which is it's a really nice shift from what you'd expect. This is really, really nice. I like this a lot. I think I love that we have this kind of brass synth creeping through underneath. We've heard it with that ba ba up there. I'm gonna stop trying to sing up the octave. So we got this bum 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 going on underneath. You can almost barely hear it, but it's fleshing out these chords. It's adding a little bit of depth, especially because he's singing so high. Adding instrumentation in underneath where he is builds out how thick these chords are, and it gives us a lot more substance to kind of cling on to. It's really nice. So, da, 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 or something like that, it sounds like. It's so subtle in the background, but that motion there, it's not what you expect. It's fleshing out the song. This is a complicated song, don't get me wrong, but it's also simple. There's not, when you listen to the Green Day version, there aren't 5 things going on at once. There is the thing, and it's being supported by the band, and so that makes complete sense. That's what you'd expect from a song in this genre. What Tommy's doing by bringing it into symphonic metal is he's opening up so many options of what he can do to play with it, and what he's done is so, so wonderful. Ooh, interesting. Oh, you can hear the vocal change there between his registers. It all came sudden. That is not what he's doing. I'm doing that to demonstrate the point, but if you listen to the shift between those two words, it all came and then going up. It's very, very different, the tone in his voice. It's just it's interesting hearing that, because it's like you wouldn't pick it up if I wasn't analysing... Sorry, I wouldn't pick it up if I wasn't analysing this so deeply. Because he does it so cleanly. Even though there is a shift there, it fits in with what he's doing with this song. I love that. Cracking up, am I just paranoid? We get these crazy drums going on underneath. Lovely fill there. Very, very effective. And plays to the lyrics. It's nice that he chose to bring the drums in then. There's some really smart choices here of when it's logical in the instrumentation. It makes sense. We're coming up towards the end of that verse. Of course, that's where you put drums and bring in up the ante again with what we're actually putting out into this video. But it also works with the lyric, which also speaks to how well the lyrics are written, because they heighten a little bit towards the end of the verse, and so you get it permits that build in the music, which is really smart. It is the Pachelbel's canon chord sequence. I just have completely missed that. I just heard it there because I was listening. There's a really nice bass note, actually, that led me into it. Ba-da-bow, right there underneath, and then that note just hangs on underneath the rest of what he's playing on the guitar before we come back in. Now we're coming back in with the drums. The pace is picked up. This is really pacey too, way more so than Basket Case is as sung by Green Day. Because it suits the style of music Tommy's doing, of course. But I just, observation. But I love that ba-da-dum that you get from the bass. Again, lovely harmony that he's adding onto the top of it, and I love that you get the down, and then the strings echo it, bam, bam, in the background. That's really cool. Again, subtle changes, but that's so nice. Da-da-da-da-da-ba. That slide down there, he's ba-da-da-da-da-da, that's the 5th of the chord. All he's doing is reinforcing the chord by going down to the 3rd. Ba-hum. It's interesting, though, because it adds a tonality to the melody that is missing. Da-da-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da. It implies a major key, but you could slide out of it because of the chords that are playing around here, and it could be ba-da. It would sound weird as hell because we know what Basket Case sounds like. But theoretically, you could be going down there. The fact that that 3rd has been avoided in the way that that phrase is sung, adding it in is nice. It adds a richness to that melody line that is not there in the original, which is no condemnation to the original. I just really like that Tommy's chosen to do it. Oh, yeah, wow! What did he hit there? Quick cut while I get my piano app up, because I wasn't ready for it. I think that's a D5 he just hit. That's really impressive. Tommy's voice is great. This is such a good song for him to sing too. Woohoo! Oh, this harmony right here. This is so nice. Changed completely from the original, and it's so effective. Bum, bum, bum. That's really nice. It's just added in one extra note. It's gone from bum bum bum. Yeah, it's the fourth. He adds in what would be the major seventh of the original key, I think, which is an augmented fourth in the subdominant, and then goes to a first inversion. You go the bum, and it would expect to be bum bum down to the what are we in? We're in G, I think. So that would be C. You'd expect it to go down to the G. Are we in? You check that. No, sorry, we're in D. So the fourth is G. So we've got the G there, and it adds in the C sharp. Bum bum. So we've got a tritone going on, which is also an interesting musical structure. The tritone, if you play two Gs, for example, since that's the key we're in, the tritone is the note that is slap bang in the middle of those two Gs, which in this case is a C sharp. Which creates a very suspenseful feeling, but it can also be used really effectively harmonically, as it is being done here. And then you would expect it to go bum, bum, down to the D. Instead, he goes to the F sharp in the bass. You can hear it there, so we have that first inversion again, which gives it a slightly unfinished feeling. You'll see what I mean. Bum, there's the G. Bum, bum, bum. Bum is the note we've got there. Ba, you can hear it in the background. And then we expect it to go to da-dum. But we go to ba instead, ba, down in the bass. Really, really nice. And then he goes ED. Right, bum, bum, bum. He fills it out and goes back down to that bass note, but he passes through that first inversion. That's lovely. And that time we go up to the D and then have the bum, bum, bum. Really, really effective. Like, he's just playing so much within the realms of what fits perfectly with the song, but makes it so much more dramatic and so much more versatile and varied in the sound that we're actually getting out of it. I love the use of the chorus here as well over the strings. I'm assuming that's a patch of some kind, or a what's the word? My brain has completely gone. Like, it's a digital instrument chorus. A pad, that's what I was going for. And that's so nice. We then go from all that variation he just threw in, and then the rest of that verse is actually fairly true to the song. It's the amount of play he's putting in this is perfect for me. And then we go into this really cool little sort of solo sequence. And that's one thing that's worth noting, because he's going to shift this in a little bit, and it's very effective when he comes into it. We're in what's called simple time right now, which is, so if your beat is 1, 2, 3, 4, it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, as opposed to compound time, which is the 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a. And we're going to get a little bit of that later, but I love that he's bringing these solos in. We're still in simple time, and when he does give it a bit more of a compound feel, it just changes things up again. I'm noting that now, and we'll come back to it when it actually happens. But I really like this little sequence here. Nice choice there as well to go up da 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 is, if I recall correctly, what Billie Joe sings. And that goes right back up again. And now we go into this crazy guitar solo, and this is where these shots of him going nuts on the guitar really pay off. And I like the fact that because we've already been introduced to these angles, it doesn't feel as show-offy. It doesn't feel like he's going, I'm a great singer, oh, look at what else I can do cool stuff on the guitar. We know he can do cool stuff on the guitar, and so this just fits in more. And it's great, because it means you can focus a bit more on the song and a little bit... No, let's face it, we're all focusing on the sort of flamboyance of this solo because it's awesome. But do you know what I mean? Am I making any kind of sense here? I'm not 100% sure, but it's the time focusing on the guitar solo feels earned because of what he's done up to this point. Maybe that's what I'm saying. Also, is it just me, or the way he's sitting right now with the hair, does it just look like Cousin It is playing the guitar? That's the feeling I'm getting right now. I love that we're getting this. This is so cool. Like, it feels like an enhanced Pachelbel's canon, too. Like, you do get this broken chord pattern that he's kind of playing in Pachelbel's canon, but he's going way over the top with it, and it's fantastic. Also note there's a new guitar technique. I can't remember if he did this in the previous song, but cool technique here where he shifts up and is playing the frets of the guitar with both fingers. With both fingers on both hands. He takes his hand off the body of the guitar and brings it up to the fretboard, because you can, with electric guitars, if you hit a string at a fret, it will play that note. You don't have to strum every single time you play a note on a guitar. Specifically an electric guitar, you can get away with it on electroacoustics. On an acoustic it's very difficult, but you can certainly do it. There are people who do it, but it's much harder. But it allows you to play much faster solos and much more complicated solos, and also jump around the fretboard more. Because playing something... so right now, his middle finger is currently on the 12th fret. You know that because it's where there's two black dots on the fretboard. That's the 12th fret. If he was playing on the dot that's really blurred on the very right-hand side here, that's going to be, what, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. This will be the 5th fret here. Jumping from the 5th to the 12th at any speed would be really difficult. But if he brings his right hand off the body of the guitar and plays the guitar, they're called hammer-ons, where you punch your finger down onto the string and you get the note just by doing that, not by strumming the string. You can do those kinds of jumps much more easily. I'm not sure quite how far he was jumping. So he's going up to what looks like fret 10 from about frets 5 and 6. And you can see he's just tapping the strings. It's just giving it those higher notes. It's really, really cool. I like seeing that up close. I'm going to put a note here to remind myself of this. But guitarists, please correct some of my guitar technique if I'm wrong about some of this. I know how to play guitar well enough to trip myself up a lot. And if I have done that, I sincerely apologize, and hopefully the guitarists in the comments will correct me. And now that was legitimate Pachelbel's canon. The da 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 da. You've probably heard it before, but notice, if I'm not mistaken, he's double strumming each note, so it's da 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 da, but obviously way faster. I could never do that. I wanted to be able to play guitar like this, but I had too many other focuses in my life, so I never went that way. But it's so impressive. I love the control, the precision of the right hand just to be hitting that one string. It's really cool. Woohoo! Oh, a little camera shake there, that's nice. You can also see in that moment... Don't know if I can get it. You can see it fairly well here. If you see, the strings are bent way out of position. If you haven't played guitar before, that's how you get those kind of slides on a guitar. Is you bend the strings, it makes them tauter, and so the note rises as you bend the string and lowers as you bring the string back down again. So you can use vibrato on it by sort of fluttering the strings. You can also just bend them up a complete tone in some cases and just play whole notes above where you actually are and have that cool sliding effect. I love that camera, the little camera shake thing. I don't know if that's the same thing Jeff does, where it's just a tap on the camera that makes it shake, or if it's a visual effect. But it's very, very cool. I like that it's used. I kind of wish he'd used it a couple more times. Unless I'm much mistaken, it doesn't come back, or maybe I just didn't pick up on it. We'll see. But it's a cool device, and I'd like to see a little more of it in the video. I also love what he's done with the orchestration here, with this bum 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 between the two lines. It's a really cool device. Sounds awesome. Love it. Did you just go cross-eyed? Oh yeah, he did. Like I said, I love this man's comedy. He puts just enough of it in. It doesn't detract from the song, but you can really giggle along with it. It's great. And here we go. This is really cool. We break down into this slightly pulled back. And this is where you kind of get this compound time thing. Because the background, it's not ba 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 ba. It's the ba 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 ba. And it brings in a different quality. Because it just gives us a feel that the song has shifted slightly in this solo section. And it's just such a nice choice to change it up here, where we're most of the way through the song. We've kind of earned a change, and it's a really cool one to use. So I like that this is what he's done. Oh, and I like that. Bow, 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 bow. That's cool. Is he singing? Goodness. I'm sorry. Is he singing an A5? I beg your pardon, sir. I might be wrong. I'm trying to decide if that's the voice or if it's a very vocal sounding guitar note. But it looks like it's him singing based on what he's playing. Woohoo! Right. Wow! That is so good. Well played, Todd. That's a marvelous cover. I think that really feels to me like the right amount of messing around with a song like this. Again, I've talked so much about covering the classics recently. In the Air Tonight, of course. Nothing Else Matters, both voice play. You have to be careful with these songs. And I just feel like he's done such great justice to the original while making it so uniquely his own arrangement. And that's a real skill. Like, his arranging skill is superb. And I really, really enjoyed that. Bravo, Tommy. And thank you to those who recommended. I think it was more than just the two names I mentioned, but I appreciate it. This truly is an excellent cover. And I really, really enjoyed that. Yeah, Tommy's skill is phenomenal. He really is. He's such an all-rounder. And his, like, what he does with the instrumentation, which he's obviously done himself too, it's hard work. You know, I've done orchestral composition before. I used to, back in the day, I was the lead singer of a rock band, and we did have a symphonic element. So I recorded, I used VST instruments myself to create sort of orchestral backings. And it's difficult. I did not do a particularly good job of it. And listening to this, like, this is skill. This is real skill, and I love it. Thank you, Tommy, for a very entertaining cover. That's going to be all the time I have for this week. Please do like the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel. I would really, really appreciate that. It's really good. It's so valuable at getting more people to see my videos, the likes and the subscribes. Do hit the notification bell if you'd like to know when my videos are coming out. As I say, normally 5 p.m. EST on Fridays. We'll see how if I get to a point. I'm hoping to do another month soon where I do a theme month and do 2 videos a week, but we'll see how that works out. And yeah, please do, if you would care to, head over to buymeacoffee.com/DavidKReacts, where you can support the channel with donations, and that would be very much appreciated. Thank you for sticking with me with this video. I hope you have enjoyed it and got something out of it. That is my goal with all of these. I really appreciate you for watching and being here with me. Have a absolutely spectacular 4:52 a.m. Nobody's going to be watching then, but the one person who is going to have their mind blown right now. But no, have a fantastic time. I hope you have an amazing, whatever time of day you're watching this. And thank you so much once again for joining me. I really appreciate it. You take care, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.